And it is the Saturday Coffee Klatch with Heather Lofthouse and yours truly, Robert Reich. And Heather, what are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about, I'm excited for a Klatch where we're not going to talk about the Epstein files and the latest. Also, calling for the execution of Democrats. Trump did that this week on Truth Social. How about when the Crown Prince went to a house party? It happened to be at the White House.
You know, Heather, I think all of the things, if there's a theme for this week, it is that Donald Trump is really losing control. I mean, he's losing control of everything. He's losing control of Congress, the Republicans in Congress. He's losing control of the message. He's losing control of himself. I mean, this is the week of basically bonkers. I mean, every week has been a week of bonkers, but this is the week of true bonkers.
And
right?
He's losing control of the public's opinion of him as his polls plummet. He's losing control of the economy. Not that he ever had control over it, but he liked to pretend he did.
Well, there's a kind of emperor's new clothes phenomenon here. I think that, you can see this with the Epstein files. When the Republicans tell him, look, we're not going to support you in trying to suppress the Epstein files. We are going to vote for opening the Epstein files. Then he scurries, to the front of the parade because he doesn't want to lose face. He doesn't want to lose power. But obviously, this is the beginning of a kind of major crack up, a major Trump Republican crack up. I mean, everybody now sees that he cannot maintain control of his Republicans.
I love that image of him scurrying to the front of a parade and he kind of grabs the mic from people. He's like, hello. No. I want the Epstein files released. I really do.
Yeah, I really do. Don't pay attention to that little man behind who was saying, I don't want the released.
No. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, no, it's me. I'm calling. Hello, is this thing on? I'm calling from. But so as he's doing that, he's trying to control how they're released, right? I mean, there are so many barricades.
He doesn't want them released, obviously. I mean, because he's, the stuff that's been released, I mean, not the Epstein files, but just the Epstein estate that the House Oversight Committee has already released. Those emails, I mean, he's in that 1,600 times the Trump name is there. So there's so much smoke. It's obviously, I think, the case that he is in the Epstein files, but that's the last thing he wants. Because, Heather, we all know, if the Epstein files are released with the smoking gun showing that Trump actually was among the clients of Epstein, ballgame. I mean, he's impeached.
Clients. I like clients.
Right? Because Republicans, the one thing they cannot forgive is pedophilia. Even from Donald Trump.
I know, and we've talked about that because I think it's, this grave, obviously, sin, but also it's part of their their conspiracy theory nation. And if it's the nucleus of this conspiracy theory, that's the one thing you can't be hypocritical about, I guess.
Well, but he has planned, the Justice Department, his hack Attorney General Pam Bondi. I mean, they by going after the investigation that he has ordered of the Democrats, they have an out. He has an out because they are going to be able to say, too bad we cannot release the Epstein files because they are part of a criminal investigation. Too bad. Boo-hoo. That's exactly what the plan is.
Also, they're fixing all the language of everything of their passing that says, a lot of redaction is allowed and, not mentioning of personal things. It's like asterisk, can remove a lot of stuff related to Trump.
Who is in charge? Heather, where there is a file. It's called the Epstein file. Where is it? Does anybody know where it is? Is any investigative reporter trying to trace down who has literal control over that file?
So you think is it brown boxes, with handles like we've all moved and had? You think it's that, and then is it messy, or is it very, who organized it? Are there dividers in there?
I mean, you would think that after all of this time, somebody would know the answer to that.
Somebody knows the answer to that.
Somebody
does. I'm sure it's in an FBI basement.
Well, maybe it's in a FBI basement in
safe?
suburban Maryland someplace. Yeah. But if there is a physical location, what are the chances that Donald Trump orders that, anything smacking of the smoking gun
Bob,
that we were talking about is gone.
did you hear about that terrible fire in that FBI building in Maryland? And
Oh,
I
and the flood. And
it was
flood
in
of
there.
that FBI
The
building in
flood
Maryland.
was, you couldn't, everything
And the
was just-
earthquake. The FBI building
that
in
was
Maryland
nuts. And when
fell
that
apart.
when that UFO landed right there and everything disappeared,
The UFO.
and the crater that was left, and everything's gone.
Believe me, they have Trump has a lot of ways of getting rid of that file.
But here's the problem, right? As Trump becomes, I feel like he's getting more and more isolated. And so there was a time when he would do all his rallies, and even though it was all bananas and performative and all that, but he was still kind of connected to the people, and he met some eyes with them, I think. And now it feels like he's walled off, and he's so dangerous. This makes me almost more nervous that he's this walled off version of himself. And the only thing that feels like we have protecting us is the courts, who are, trying. I feel like they have these grappling hooks.
I want to talk about the courts in a minute, Heather, but I think one aspect of him kind of being walled off and out of touch with reality is that kind of state dinner and the display of extraordinary pomp and circumstance that he gave to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who the intelligence community and I mean, it's very clear. The intelligence community has very clearly stipulated that the Crown Prince gave the green light to the killing of Khashoggi.
Jamal Khashoggi. I know. And even in Britain, they call him the bone. What is it? The bone killer.
The bone spur. No, not the bone spur.
What is it, Michael? Mr. Bonesaw. They call, even in Britain, in all the tabloids, they call him Mr. Bonesaw, which is
Mr. Bonesaw. Well, it was the most brutal murder you can imagine. And he was a Washington Post reporter, for crying out loud. I know. It's as if Trump is so out of touch with reality that he thinks that he's going to get away with celebrating this brutality and this murderer.
And who attended? Who attended this lavish state dinner?
Well, the state dinner was, every high-tech titan, including obviously Elon Musk, the whole group of them were there because they all want money from Saudis. They all are trying to get Saudi money to help them, a lot of them with AI. They want to make AI investments. The Saudis have the biggest, kind of deepest pockets for that kind of stuff. And so they're all there celebrating. I mean, this is disgusting. It really is disgusting.
Wall Street and bankers, also university heads, also FIFA and soccer players. This is morally bankrupt. I mean, I'm going to say the leaders of all of these companies, corporations, institutions, C-suites, to be there celebrating and toasting this Saudi crown prince after what we know he did is really the height of, what is it? It just shows how disgusting all of this is. We've come to a time in America where morality is upside down. It's all about money, At the same time as this lavish dinner is going on, we have Trump this past week calling for the hanging of Democrats. Now, they backtrack a little bit on it.
Wait a minute, hanging? You mean execution? It could be execution by firing squad.
I thought it was hanging specifically. Either way.
Did he say hanging? I didn't know that.
I think he's a very specific man who's real, he likes to be, specific.
What is going on, Heather? Seriously.
And so this video, these Democratic lawmakers came out and said, we have your back, people in the military. We've been in the military in various capacities. They all announced it. And they said, if you are asked to do something illegal, you don't have to do it. We all know that in the military. We're just reminding you we have your back, right?
So this is a video designed to be shown to military people in the military saying, we are members of Congress. We are military people too. And we know, and we want to assure you, we have your back. You should not follow illegal orders. And what's wrong with that? That's not subversion. I mean, the Uniform Code of Military Justice says that you should not follow orders that are manifestly illegal. I mean, this is the way. This is what we require of our military.
And this has come out of all of these trials and all of these cases, right?
There was a case, when I was a young man, and I was a young man during the Vietnam War, Lieutenant Calley. Does that ring a bell?
History-wise, I didn't know it myself.
Lieutenant Calley, said he was just following orders when he went into a Vietnam hamlet, and he had his people, his men under him, basically exterminate, kill every single person there. And he went to trial. And his defense was, I was just following orders.
Right.
Same thing as the Nazis defended themselves in the Nuremberg trials. The same thing, throughout history. People who have done horrible things, they defend themselves by saying, wasn't me, I was just following orders. Well, the Uniform Code of Military Justice has made it very clear that if it's manifestly illegal, if you as a soldier have reason to believe it is manifestly illegal what you are being told to do, then you must not do it. And this is what the Democrats in Congress, in the Senate and the House, who told the military in these videos not to do anything that is illegal, not to follow illegal orders. This is what they were doing. This is what they were saying.
But he's this tyrant, right? This authoritarian who wants to instill fear that anything you do that is against me is insubordination. I mean, and so there's a big bystander effect, right? I think people are so fearful. This is part of his plan.
But his words have consequences because
do they though?
We know that there are people, followers of Trump, who will actually become violent. I mean, look what happened on January 6, 2021. I mean, we have evidence that people take his words seriously and do some pretty horrible things on the basis of those words. So if he says that these people are traitors and they ought to be hung, well, that has consequences.
I know, and they're trying to backtrack on it a little bit. What about his, I think he looks at his approval ratings. And so we call them out often on the Coffee Klatch because it's a seed of hope to see that the populace is saying, he's not matching expectations. I'm not actually happy and doing better and great again. But Fox News's poll from this past week was the lowest it's ever been in terms of his approval ratings.
Amazing. His polls are actually plunging, falling off a cliff, lower than they've ever been before, even including his first term. I mean, do you have that? I have some notes that I made. 58% disapprove of Trump. 58% of American adults.
Fox. That's in the Fox one.
That's in the Fox poll.
That's a big deal.
And on the 41%,
economy? Yeah. But 41% don't, right? Or do.
41% approve.
That's minus 17. I mean, that is a huge spread for a Fox News poll.
Gigantic. And on the economy, the spread is 23%. In terms of the difference between those who approve and those who do disapprove. The disapprovals are up here. The approvals are down here on the economy. I mean, this is all part of, this all illustrates Trump losing control. He's losing control of the narrative. He's losing control of himself. He's losing control of all aspects of his administration.
It's so scary, though, because this is, on the one hand, I'm pleased to see that the reality that wasn't actually a reality is crumbling, right? And the polls are changing rapidly, but it's this global scale. I feel like he has all these authoritarians, and it's very scary what's happening in terms of a potential peace something, which doesn't seem like peace to me, in Ukraine, and the way he's manipulating that, the fact that he's off on his own with this ilk of authoritarianism, I almost liked it better when he was tethered to the people.
Well, when he was
Does that make sense?
When he was tethered to the people, I don't know what people he was tethered to. You're talking about MAGA?
I just mean that it feels like he's in this, he's like a Rapunzel up and he's bringing all these important people there. And it's a new kind of losing control grip on power in this isolated way that scares me.
Well, it is frightening because also as he gets cornered, whether it is Epstein or some of the things that he's doing with the Crown Prince or anything else he's being criticized for, as he gets more and more cornered and as his polls go down, he feels compelled to do something big to change the subject. And I think that's where his cockamamie ideas for peace in Ukraine are coming from. I mean, he is willing to cede a lot of Ukraine territory to Putin. He's willing to basically give Putin a victory. We haven't seen that 28-point plan in detail, but that's what it has been leaked so far. And it is dangerous. I mean, he's not consulting with Ukraine. He's not consulting with the Europeans. He just wants to do something big.
Right. And it's not that he ever really represented the people. We know this, but he said that he did. And I feel that he's getting into a place where he really doesn't feel he has to. I mean, if they're not going to be pulling for me anymore, watch me go even further off the deep end. So we have our courts. Can we talk about our courts? I feel like this always gives me strength when we're able to say, look at what these adults, reasoned people have decided, whether they're appointed by Democrats or Republicans. So can you tell us, please?
The courts are really, you're right, they are the adults in the system. And the judges at the district court level and the Court of Appeals level are really, with reasoned kind of adult decisions, they are pushing back. They're saying that Trump cannot deploy troops around the country in Washington, D.C., and Portland, Oregon, and Chicago. They are saying that that Texas, for example, cannot just do the gerrymandering it wants to do, that it's got to delay that gerrymander, that the gerrymander looks a lot like racial gerrymandering. And it's also, the courts are also saying, finally, that James Comey's, that what the court, what Trump is trying to do in terms of indicting his enemies, the people he thinks are disloyal to him, have been disloyal to him, like James Comey, former director of the FBI. The courts are saying, wait a minute, you can't just do that. The indictment that was presented to the court by Lindsay Halligan,
yes,
the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia.
Have you seen her CV? I mean, it goes on for. Oh wait,
her CV is like this. What was it? Andy Borowitz, the New Yorker comedian. I mean, he really is very funny. He said her greatest dream is to go to law school.
I know. We'll see if she gets in. The LSAT isn't easy.
She's an utter total flack. I mean, she has had almost no experience at all. She was stuck in there because basically they couldn't find anybody else to do what Trump wanted to do. Pam Bondi couldn't find anybody else. And so they found this Lindsay Halligan, and she presents an indictment, and she has to admit to the court that only 2 members of the grand jury signed the indictment. Now, a federal grand jury typically has 16 to 23 members on the grand jury.
Ooh, this is helpful.
Only 2 people signed this indictment. And so Comey's lawyer says, this is not an indictment. There's no indictment here.
Again, no adults in the room here. But he likes that. I mean, that's because he can control everyone if they're kind of, half-baked and robotic. What about, he met with Mamdani yesterday, which I guess it's a customary thing for the mayor of New York to go to D.C., but also, I guess, when Trump is such a New Yorker, allegedly.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall.
I know.
I mean, it's just, what do you think Mamdani said to Trump when there were no cameras, no reporters?
I bet he was affable and strong. I mean, I bet he said, I think he was probably, I don't know because I wasn't in the room, but I imagine, a synonym would be like Pete Buttigieg on Fox News. I think he just stuck to what he was saying, and he said it clearly.
Let's do it. Let's do role playing. You do Mamdani. I'll do Trump.
No, I want to do Trump. I'll do Trump. Wait,
Okay,
hold on.
I'll do Mamdani.
Okay.
Okay.
So here comes the communist. Wait, I'm not doing it well.
No, you
I
do
got
well.
to channel
Yeah,
it.
do it. No, you're
Okay,
doing very well.
let's not take the. Okay, just tell me, what do you think Mamdani said?
I don't. I mean, I'm going to do Mamdani.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'm delighted to see you. I'm delighted to meet you. But I want you to know that I am going to run New York the way I want to run New York. And
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's going to work. I know New York better than you know it.
Mr. President,
Terrible.
you don't have a say here. I mean, the people of New York have elected me overwhelmingly. They knew exactly who I was. They knew what I was going to do. And Mr. President, I want to work with you. I want to work constructively with you. But if you will not, then you can expect a real fight.
And also, I bet he had statistics, right, that would throw off what Trump, because Trump speaks in these generalizations.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I imagine there were some, yes, well, that's how you define affordability, but I would counter by saying this. And I bet his delivery was very direct and calm.
Yes, I was going to say, Mr. President, that avenue in front of Trump Tower, I'm renaming it Joe Biden Avenue.
Ooh, Bob, careful, spicy. I like it. Okay, so what else can we talk about? So we talked about the polls are terrible. Part of that, too, is because the economy is doing horrifically. And of course, we don't know exactly certain numbers because the government's been shut down. But what have we learned in the past week besides to be fearful?
Well, we honestly don't know that much. But what came out from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is the September report on jobs, which showed that the unemployment rate went up to 4.4%, but also showed that the number of new jobs, the revisions for the summer months, that is July and August, the number of jobs went dramatically down. That is, as more information comes in to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, obviously they make revisions. They revise on the basis of new information. And that new information is very, very bad for the economy and bad for Trump. So this is what people are upset about. They're also upset about inflation. We don't have good inflation data, but most people don't need good inflation data. They go into the food, grocery shopping. They buy food. They go try to pay the bills, the electricity bills. They know what's happening. They know that prices are not coming down. In fact, prices are going up. That's one of the things that is driving consumer sentiment down. And that's a big, big problem.
And wages are not going up, which you've been saying for far too long, because it's not.
And here's the thing, Heather, as inflation, as prices go up, even if wages stayed the same, in terms of real wages, that is adjusted for inflation, what you can actually buy with your dollars, the wages are going down. The effect is that people are all suffering from a decline in living standards. Right. Not the 0.01% at the top, not the billionaires, not the people who are supporting Trump, not the people who are
at the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
At the MBS Crown Prince event. Yes. But average working people are really suffering right now. And Trump is obviously being blamed.
And he's such a bully. I mean, we've seen with the press numerous times this week. So when the Crown Prince was there and someone asked him about Khashoggi, Trump, said, you can't do that. That's not, you're mean. That's not allowed. He's great. Khashoggi was shady, whatever his answer was. To another person about the Epstein files, a reporter, the press asking about the files, he says, you're a terrible person. You're just a terrible question. It's such ad hominem attacks. And then we get to when he's on his plane. It happened last week, I think, before our last coffee clutch, but I didn't kind of see it get into my social media feeds till.
Oh, he said, "Shut up, piggy."
Quiet, piggy.
To a woman journalist. Another. I mean, women. Let's face it. This is not news. He has a thing about women, particularly women journalists, and another.
Particularly women everythings.
Women everything. That's right. A woman journalist from, I think it was Bloomberg News, last week said to him, asked a question, and he said, shut up, piggy.
No, he said, quiet, piggy.
He said, quiet, piggy. I'm sorry. I accused him of saying shut up. Much better to say quiet, piggy.
But I mean, that term is so, it's so misogynistic. It's so, I mean, we know all this, but I kind of want to say like things you can say when you're feeling angry. You can say, I disagree with that question. You can say, I'm not going to answer that. Or eye roll. He could have eye rolled. But so he says this nastiness and then no one around her says anything. This is so everyone's just standing there with their recorders, kind of like, well, that's been normalized. So I guess we're going to bash that woman in front of us and not say anything.
I think that they have all come to expect that he is going to say outrageous things and talk in this kind of demeaning way and insult people. I mean, that's not any longer news. But what is news, I think, and it should be news, is that as he ages, now I have standing to talk about this because I am 10 days younger than Donald Trump. That's it. As one ages, as one pushes 80 years old, a lot of inhibitions disappear. Have you noticed that in me?
I mean, I think I have, but you've always been pretty brave. But yeah, no, I have noticed it.
No, but
I have noticed
it. I mean, in
truly.
Substack, I now say things that I'm not sure I would have said.
And then I kind of worry and think
5 years
I'm
ago.
proud of you.
But I think there is a difference. If you lose this inhibitor in your brain as you get
we
closer
all do. I mean, I think we all do over time too, right? Women hit that in menopause, and it's kind of
it's postmenopausal for men particularly, and I think Trump is. I don't think
he didn't have an
been.
inhibulator. He didn't have a regulator. He lost
He
that.
He lost
that.
But
I
think he's less regulated, less inhibited now. By the way, did you see that? Did you see that photograph that was posted of pig eyes and Trump eyes?
Yes. Oh, it's so creepy. And this is ridiculous, which is
okay.
Look at the
we're
similarities.
going to show this now, Heather. Which are Trump's eyes and which are pig eyes?
Well, so I could pretend I didn't know, but Trump's the one to my right on the screen, and the pig is to the left. Now, was it AI tweaked? I don't know. Maybe that pig had an eye job.
I don't know. I think that the pig is on the right and Trump is on the left.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I mean, it's that hard to tell. It's that hard to tell. But yeah, so disgusting week in that regard. And again, there's bystander, effects where I think people are just standing there. Can we get to something positive?
Sure. Let's do that.
I'm glad that I'm not spending Thanksgiving with Donald Trump. So that's something positive on my list.
Next week is indeed Thanksgiving. And Heather, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on a plane for Thanksgiving because when you travel for Thanksgiving, the cheapest way to travel is on Thanksgiving. Not sure if everyone knows.
I'm going to be on a plane on Thanksgiving too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are we going to be on the same? Yeah, but also it's my husband's birthday that day.
Oh,
so
Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it'll be celebratory and
congratulate Tom for
we'll
me.
have some family. I will. You're sweet to say that. But also I wanted to flag for people that the Last Class film that we've been talking about and is still in theaters. By the way, it's been in 47 states thanks to you all going to see it and demanding that it comes to new places and buying tickets and selling out and having it come back again. It will be in 50 states. We've just booked theaters in Mississippi and those wily Dakotas that hadn't seen it yet, north and south. Those Dakotas. So then the movie will have been in 50 states. But we're also going to try to do, so many people have said it's not coming to me or I'm immobile and can't get out of the house. It hasn't been in my neck of the woods. And so we're going to do a one-off watch along on December 8th. That's a Monday at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern.
Is that you and the director, Elliot Kirshner? And is that also me?
If you're free, really like you to be there. I think a lot of people would like to see you there. So what happens is we sit here, it starts at 5:30, we talk a little bit, the movie plays, we say a couple things, but don't disturb it too much. And at the end, we have a Q&A and we say, does anyone have questions in the comments?
Is that 5:30 p.m. Pacific time or Eastern time?
Pacific time.
Okay.
8:30 Eastern, and that's Monday, December 8th. Now, this is the way you sign up. You go to thelastclassfilm.com and give us your email. Then once we're going to announce it, we'll put it out there. We're saying a donation would be lovely, but it's technically a free event. And then it shows and then it disappears. So it is a one-time
and it's
opportunity for
thelastclassfilm.com.
Yep. So
well, that's exciting.
Happening. I think it'll be exciting.
We'll
see how many people show.
That is good news. That is good news. Heather, in a way, the fact that, and the theme today has been Trump losing control, and that's not bad news. I mean, in a way, you expect that as the public shifts and understands the dire straits that we are in and all of the damage he's doing, and as he loses control, maybe that is the beginning of the end, right?
Well, my son is studying tectonic plates in geology and science in 7th grade, and so there's the egg, and then there's the fault lines and the boundaries, and there's convergent and divergent. We've been studying it for his test. And I think there are some cracks happening. But what I worry about is volcanoes are going to come up in those divergent ones.
You mean when the tectonic plates start crashing into each other?
That's different. That's mountains. I've studied it. But I do. So yes, I agree. I think I agree with you that I'm excited to see these shifts and him not in a good place. But I also get very scared because when that guy is cornered with all his wealthy, powerful friends around him, because that's what he does. When he's cornered, he's goodbye, American people, hello, oligarchs. And it's a very scary thing that we're watching.
Goodbye, American people, hello, oligarchs. Let me just build on that because I want to just thank you, Heather, and thank Michael Lahanas, Calderon, and everyone else from Inequality Media Civic Action who help make our podcast really work week after week. And I also want to thank you out there for watching and holding on, and really your tenacity and your willingness to go through all of this and really maintain your sense of optimism, or at least hope. Hope is critical. And Heather, you used the metaphor of the tectonic plates crashing into each other. I think that too often we think of what we are going through as a clash between left and right, a clash between the giant tectonic plates of the putative left and the putative political right. But actually what's being revealed, and it was revealed this week, in terms of the Crown Prince, and also all of the billionaires coming to that Crown Prince White House event, and including Elon Musk and all of the tech billionaires trying to get Saudi money. I think what's revealed is that it's not left versus right. What we're living through now is the bottom versus the top. And it's not just the bottom. I'm talking about the bottom 99.9% of Americans, many of whom are struggling. Many of you out there are struggling now to make ends meet, versus the top 0.1% or top 0.01%, who have never been as wealthy, who have never been as powerful, who are willing, unfortunately, to use their wealth and their power to change American politics in ways that help them and hurt many of you. That's what we're fighting against. That's what we have to really make sure. When Donald Trump is out of office, and he will be out of office, make sure that this never happens again, this catastrophe. Make sure that this democracy works for all of us. This economy works for all of us, instead of this tiny group at the very top. And on that note, Heather,
Bob,
hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and everybody out there, great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next Saturday.